I found out that my handsome husband has been having an affair with an extra-pound-old woman. Now he's deep in shame because he's the talk of the town. Fake names. I, 44, have been so emotional for several weeks that I can't trust my own judgment. Starting around Christmas 2023, I noticed a change in my husband Justin, 44. He's usually an affectionate and intimate person, but our intimacy life went downhill. The summer of 2023 was when our son Randall moved out to university. With Justin and I alone in the house, we were having intimacy almost every day before the dip. Other suspicious things started happening. He's going out without me more, women's perfume on his changes, being more secretive with his devices, etc. In early September, I managed to get on his laptop while he was asleep. I was expecting to find evidence of an affair and I had a picture in my head of what the woman would look like. I found a mountain of evidence. There were nude selfies of her, videos of her masturbating, messages exchanged, etc. She didn't look like what I was expecting. She looked at least 50 and at least 200 pounds. My husband is very fit and so am I. He is Hollywood handsome, so I was expecting some thin 27-year-old woman. I sent as much evidence to my email and socials as I could. I showed my sister Betty the evidence. I was so emotional that I was insensitive with my words, especially since my sister has a weight problem. I called my husband's mistress a fat old SLT. Betty said I shouldn't be talking about another woman like that. I was so enraged and I asked Betty how could she defend the woman who was fucking my husband. Betty said it's no excuse for body shame. I just started crying and Betty hugged me. Obviously, my judgment is compromised and I have a bias against my husband's mistress. I hate her so much. By the messages, the mistress does know. Justin and her talk about me a lot. She sends happy emojis when Justin talks about how much sexier she is. Justin has messaged her that I'm too thin and muscular. Yes, I am leaving him. I already have a divorce attorney. Even with everything I originally shared, Justin has messaged the mistress that he never loved me. He messaged that he loved her. Update: before last evening, I had been slowly moving my stuff into Kelly's home. Last evening, Kelly did me the favor of telling Justin's parents Bob and Ann. Last evening, I took the last of my stuff and went to stay at Kelly's until I could find a place. I made sure to video chat with my son Randall first. I can't even remember everything I said, so I will give the main points. I told him that he was the most important thing to his father and me. We love him but we are getting divorced. I told him his father was cheating on me, and I told him how to find the mistress Vicky, 58, on social media. I told my son he doesn't have to hate her and that he doesn't have to defend me against his father. I told him I was at Kelly's house and he said he'll visit this weekend. I told him I love you and he said I love you too. I video chatted my husband Justin. The first I said was our son, your parents, your sister, and I all know you're cheating. I got some sick satisfaction from the look on his face. I used his mistress's real full name and I said she looks like me. Justin tried to speak but I cut him off to say that our son nor his parents hate him. Justin was apologizing and I said I don't care. I said to just make this divorce as smooth as possible. I don't care to find anything. I asked him to do me a favor and preserve our son's old room as is. He agreed to do so. I ended the video chat. He tried to call again but I ignored it. This morning, I video chatted with my sister Betty, but before the video chat, I sent Betty some of the messages Justin had sent to Vicky where Justin body shamed me. In the video chat, I apologized for body shaming Vicky and I said I wouldn't do it again. Betty apologized to me that she had brought that up during the moment. I told Betty that I was staying at Kelly's. I asked Betty if she believes her husband loves and finds her SI. Betty said yes. I told her that she should start acting like it. She asked if could come to Kelly's this weekend, and I told my sister that I had enough support. I told her she didn't need to come and that she should enjoy her husband who loved her. I was really petty yesterday and this morning, but that is the pettiest I plan on allowing myself to be. I'm in a privileged position that I don't need to fight for money from my soon-to-be ex-husband. I hope he's made this easy, especially since our son knows everything. I'm okay considering everything. Update 2. Yesterday, Sunday, I called my sister Betty and I told her she could come over to my sister-in-law's house. Betty brought her husband Mike. I gave Betty a proper apology for body shaming Vicky, the mistress. I told Betty that I was angry about her pushback about me body shaming my husband's mistress, but that I also got angry at Betty for stupid stuff. I started viewing memories of Betty and my husband Justin in a different light, like how when Betty uses our pool, Justin suggests that Betty wears a two-piece, or all the times Justin called Betty SI, or all the times he said that she didn't need to lose weight. I was also comparing my relationship with Justin and Betty's relationship with Mike. The majority of the time, I would have to initiate things with Justin. Also, he never did PDA, but Betty often mentions how Mike can't get enough of her, and I've seen how Mike is always all over her in public. I also noticed a pattern of when Justin was the most intimate and physically affectionate towards me when I was on my period and bloated. Betty apologized to me again. She also mentioned how awful Justin's messages to Vicky about my body are. I told Betty that I've been jealous of her body since I saw those messages. Betty said she's been jealous of my body since I lost the weight in my early 20s. I told my sister she should go to therapy if she feels that bad about her body. She said she will. I told her I would need therapy for everything that happened to me with my marriage. I also saw my son Randall, father-in-law Bob, and mother-in-law Ann in person last weekend. I didn't talk about Vicky with my son, Bob, Ann, and I looked through Vicky's Instagram and Ann roasted her. In almost all of Vicky's Instagram pictures and videos, she's sweaty, messy, and wearing revealing clothes. A lot of her pictures and videos are of her at the club. In some videos, she makes references to pot, and called Vicky trashy and gross. She also said Vicky looks like she smells bad. I enjoyed hearing that a little too much. My mom Jen lives in another state, so I didn't get to see her in person. Betty and I video chatted with my mom. My mom is literally a bigger woman than Vicky, but my mom did some fat shaming. Betty and I just let my mom say all of that stuff about Vicky. I know that my son, father-in-law, mother-in-law, and sister-in-law have all spoken to Justin via video chat. Justin gets heat from all of them, and all of them refuse to see him in person. Justin says he still wants to talk to me, but I still haven't said anything since that video chat. There is nothing he can say. I get it. He wanted the curvy bad girl. He's free to have fun with her.